Alright, what's up Raptors brothers and sisters, Sid checking in, and everybody, the Raptors' second road game has officially come to an end. This time we faced against the Sacramento Kings, and going into this game, as Raptors fans, let's be real with each other. We already knew what type of battle this was going to be. I mean, even after the last matchup that we played against the Sacramento Kings, which happened to be on Vince Carter night, I always felt that we're going to have an uphill battle coming into this game, not only because the Sacramento Kings are going to try to even the score with us for losing to us that day, but also, more importantly, if you look at the Sacramento Kings roster for this year, they look like a team that they want to go deep into the playoffs this year. And I feel like the loss that they faced against the Raptors that night on Vince Carter night was a big blow to their ego, so they want to redeem themselves. So going into this game, I expected the game to be very scrappy, very physical, and there are a lot of motions in the air, and that's exactly what we got and more. But unfortunately, the Raptors came away with the loss once again in this game. So as per every loss that the Raptors do, let's break down everything that the Raptors did in this game, as well as all the improvements that they need to make going into the future, starting right now. Now, before we talk deeply as to what the Raptors did well and need to improve on based on the things we saw in this game, let's give credit to the opponent team who won, which in this case is the Sacramento Kings. And honestly, their game today wasn't the most efficient game, but they knew how to close out the game. And that is very important, especially for a team like them, because for the Sacramento Kings, they aim to win now, or at the very least get as far as possible to the NBA Finals as possible. So in order to do this, one of the biggest things that they needed to work on, especially from last season to this season, is they needed to close games better, which the addition of DeMar DeRozan was a huge step in the right direction to them, because you could clearly see from the game today that, especially in that fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan made his presence known and did whatever he needed to do to make sure the Sacramento Kings win. And of course, DeMar DeRozan, being the mid-range assassin that he is, he just went to work against the Toronto Raptors in that fourth quarter, and just off his determination alone, they were able to ride out the win. So shout out to the Sacramento Kings for closing out the game in a proper manner and doing whatever they needed to do to run away with the game, especially when the game became more pressurized. Now, on the flip side for the Raptors, shout out to all of the Raptors players that played today, because due to all of their contributions, we were able to have a comfortable lead going into quarters 1 to 3. This is super important because not only does it show that we have a dog mentality or a relentless to fight mentality, but more importantly, it just shows that we can face any type of situation regardless of how it plays out by quarter. And I believe this is really important, and it's something that I appreciate, because to have this mentality at a very young age for us, especially since we're basically in the first year of a rebuilding or reforming or whatever you want to call it, having this kind of mentality now will most definitely bleed into all the future games and future seasons, because this is the type of energy that we're going to be accustomed to, and playing at any other pace is going to feel very off to us. And unfortunately, I feel that the opponents, once we're in a comfortable space and everything is clicking, it's going to be a tough night for the opponents. So this is going to be really great for us, because we'll be able to hone our skills and fight through adversity no matter what the situation comes. And when things become more to our liking, whether that be the players coming back due to injuries and things of that nature, everything will hopefully fall into place, and by that point we'll have a unified playstyle and we'll know exactly what type of energy we're going to bring to every single game. So shout out to all the Raptors players once again that played today, and let's keep that energy going into the future games of this season. One more thing before I talk about the Raptors improvements coming out of this game, prayers up to Jonathan Mobile and Jacoby Walter, because unfortunately both of them went down today with injuries. Now at this time of recording, we don't know how long they're going to be out for and what type of injury it is, but I'm hoping that it's not too serious and they'll be able to come back and play at a high level relatively soon. Now, in terms of the Raptors improvements, number one on this list, and it's honestly the most important improvement, is we need to do a better job of our turnovers, especially in the later stages of this game, more specifically the fourth quarter. Now, I understand that the Raptors are a young team and we're doing much better on turnovers as a whole, which is really good because our turnovers used to be much worse, especially in the early games of the season. But now, for some reason, we're just doing well in quarters 1 to 3, but when the fourth quarter comes, we're just shutting off and we're making careless turnovers in that specific quarter, and the opponents are maximizing off that to run away with the game. Going forward, I believe we need to do a better job of being sharp with our passes and making the extra pass at every possession of the game, so that not only will it not allow the opponents to find the opportunity to strike, but more importantly, as we continue to do this, it will cause less of our players to feel overwhelmed or really tired due to the heavy load that they would be carrying due to the injury bug that is on our side. So hopefully there are certain practices, drills, or any film sessions that are done by the Raptors head coach and Raptors assistant coaches to work on this, so that the necessary adjustments can be made going into the future games of the season. So let's see what they do against the next game, and let's see how long it will take the Raptors to improve their turnovers, especially in the fourth quarter, because that is one of the things that I feel will definitely play a big factor into how much wins and losses that we'll gain this season. So hopefully the improvements are made to this, and we'll just need to see what they do in the future games to come. Now, the second improvement that I would like to see the Raptors make coming out of this game is actually a single person, and that is RJ Barrett. Now, I know that RJ Barrett is a very important piece to this Raptors team, and honestly, every game that he's played up to this point is very valuable because he's doing everything in his power to help the Raptors team win, whether that be slashing the paint, whether that be shooting threes, whether that be passing, and everything else in between. However, with that being said, even though he's doing all this, it's still resulting in losses. And that means that RJ Barrett just needs to make sure that all of his skills are at an all-time high level, especially during this period where Emmanuel Quickley and Scotty Barnes is out. Now, a good example for that in this game would be, throughout this game, there were multiple opportunities where RJ Barrett was slashing to the glass and he was drawing fouls. However, when he was at the free throw line, whether that be a technical foul or that would be a normal free throw, he's just missing his free throws, and I really feel that those free throws really could have shifted the momentum in this game, and the Raptors could have really benefited off the free throws if he made it. But unfortunately that was not the case, and as the fourth quarter came near and near, the momentum was almost shifting towards the Sacramento Kings side, and right when the fourth quarter started with the turnovers and everything else that the Raptors did wrong, the Sacramento Kings were able to run away with the game and the momentum was fully on their favor. So going forward in future games, obviously RJ Barrett is going to miss some of his shots. I'm not saying he needs to be a machine or anything like that, but I'm hoping that he cleans up, or rather he polishes his game, so that no matter what type of circumstance is presented to him, he'll be able to find the most effective shot and do anything in his power to help his team win. And also, I believe that free throws are the easiest way to help a team not only chop at a lead but also extend the lead. So hopefully that is something that RJ Barrett works on in his practices going forward, so that his free throw shooting will not be a hindrance to the Raptors' overall success that they have in the future. The final improvement that I would like to see the Raptors make coming out of this game is we need to do a better job of our rebounding, especially in the crunch time or fourth quarter moments. This is because in this game against Sacramento Kings, even though we had a good rebounding pace in quarters 1 to 3, when it came to the fourth quarter, I'm not sure if it's because the players were very gassed or tired because of the injury bug, or the players were over pressurized, but we were giving up easy rebounds to the opponent team. And unfortunately, because of this, they took advantage of the situation by not only starting a fast break, but also they were able to draw fouls on us, which helped them get their free throws and extend the lead. And obviously because of this, the motivation started to shift in Sacramento's favor. So going forward, I hope that if we have a really strong rebounding pace going from quarters 1 to 3, we keep that same level of rebounding going into the fourth quarter, because up to that point the opponent will be playing catch up with us, and in the fourth quarter we can just tighten it up a bit to the point where we do not give the opponent any time to come back into the game, and ultimately it will just help us run away with the game and the momentum will never really switch to the opponent's side. So hopefully this is something that the Raptors head coach as well as the assistant coaches preaches to the team, and we'll just have to see if these improvements have been made going into the future games of this season. So yeah, overall this game was definitely a dogfight, and honestly, as I said before, it's a great experience for the Toronto Raptors players, because it just shows the type of energy and the type of play style that we need to play going into the future games of the season. And what's more is, this is great for the Raptors, especially since they're learning this at a young age, because going forward, especially when we have a unified team, I believe that this is going to become a new playstyle. And by having a dog-like mentality playstyle combined with a unified team, I believe that there's really nobody in the NBA that will be able to stop us. And at that point, hopefully we'll be able to reap the rewards of all the improvements that the Raptors have made up to whenever that point is. So for now, as Raptors fans, we're just going to experience the wins and we're going to experience the losses equally, and we're going to watch the Raptors grow and support them as much as we can. And of course, all of us are going to share our input as well of things we liked and things we didn't like, and hopefully the Raptors will hear our requests and they'll make the necessary adjustments going forward. So with that being said, if you like this kind of video, make sure to give me one of these, smash that subscribe button and hit that bell. And until next time, when I'm going to be talking about the Raptors and everything else related to them, Sid, signing out.